Well, NPR reports on a new study that says Uber and Lyft have had no effect on drunk driving fatalities. The study by it was published in the American Journal of Epidemiology found that, quote, Uber services in a given metropolitan county had no association with the number of subsequent traffic fatalities, whether measured in aggregate or specific to drunk driving fatalities or fatalities during weekends and holidays. So this was interesting. By all means, take Lyft and Uber if you're drunk, or call me. I will pick you up. But there is,
good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. But there is still more room for improvement. We can't just say like Uber's doing it. And Uber has said that they've given anecdotal evidence. They've worked with Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and I support that to definitely take Uber. But I think that their evidence isn't exactly accurate that Uber is, making even a dent in the problem with drunk driving.
Yeah, Uber has said that their numbers show that their peak hours of use are during those nighttime, air quotes, drinking hours, let's say. And also 80% of their users have reported using Uber at one time or another to, instead of driving when they happen to be drunk. So they've got that, but that doesn't necessarily correlate the other way, in which, because it exists, it's, cutting down the number of drunk driving the way you would think. I would think that it would have some sort of an impact, and maybe not now, but maybe eventually. Maybe the solution is this kind of future that we've talked about in the past, where ownership is a lot less of a thing that we just do, and more so it's just the broader kind of rollout of ride sharing. And as that number gets bigger, I imagine I would guess anyways, that would cut down the incidents.
I would hope so. I mean, what really will cut down the incidents is self-driving cars. Robots do not get drunk, in my experience. So that's that's the
future's weird. That's all I'm going to say.
But
you never know.
I think what's happening is here, like, yes, maybe a lot of people are thinking like, oh, well, I'll go out. I don't have to worry about not drinking because I can just take an Uber. Whereas those people would have said, I'm not going to drink, or I'm not going to drink very much, so that, if Uber didn't exist. So those people weren't going to drink and drive anyway. I think what they said is there's a lot of people, when they're drunk, they're not thinking, oh, I'll take an Uber. They're thinking, I can, give me my keys.
Pretty much. And that's exactly what they sound like. You make a very good impression of a drunk person.
Thank you. I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, don't leave it to somebody who's drunk to have the best judgment in the world as far as like whether they should not drive versus paying some money to let someone drive them home. I suppose that's not the best position, I guess you just can't expect somebody in that position to have the best judgment.
No.
But you would hope so. I would certainly hope so.
But it is one of those unmentioned things. And we talk about like, oh, well, with the trolley problem and, all these like, theoretical problems with the self-driving car. Imagine getting drunk drivers off the road. That is a wonderful future.
That is. I agree.